Hey everybody, how's it going? 602 Rose Show. Just finished episode 5 of Jenn's season of The Bachelorette. Um, Overall, can't complain too much. Pretty entertaining episode. I was really worried we weren't going to get both rose ceremonies in. So getting both rose ceremonies is huge. That is absolutely huge from a fantasy standpoint because now we're back on pace. You don't have to play this game where you're hoping to catch certain things in an episode that we know conceptually happen like within 1 week on the show. So that's a really big one. Obviously, being able to frame it in that way matters. It matters a great deal. So excited that I don't have to worry about that from now on. Hopefully, everything is just straight through the rest of the way. We know it'll get weird at the end, but hopefully, until we get to that point, we're clean-ish. So 15th, all the way up to 15th for Rose Show. Man, we're still chasing hard though. 767 points at the top there. I don't think I can. Some 200 points behind. Seems unlikely. Seems unlikely. Um, that's a lot of points. That had to win riding the drama edit early. So well done. Great job. Um, Up to 1,132nd in the Bachelor Nation League. I'm okay with that. I would anticipate that some of our people are the ones up at the top here. 813. Yikes. So probably not catching up this season. But winning the Bachelor Nation League is not the only thing that matters. So I will be with you the whole season to make sure that you can catch up in your home leagues. Hopefully you're not chasing in your home leagues. Tonight was pretty good. Tonight was a pretty entertaining episode, I'll say. We did finally get to see a one-on-one date that didn't suck. Jonathan had 43 fantasy points on his one-on-one, and obviously picked up another rose with the double rose ceremony. But yeah, this is probably the first one-on-one that was worth a damn from a point standpoint. Swore a lot because he was afraid of the helicopter. Um, Managed to fit some talk about his past in there in a meaningful way. I did lose some points. I believe it was toward the middle of the episode, saying that he was nervous. Not the end of the world. Obviously, overall, like a pretty good turnout from him. Jeremy continues to not be important. Sam with a relatively low performance here. Didn't have a lot going on for him this week. This would be your optimal lineup: Grant, Jeremy, Jonathan, Sam, Spencer at 20. You could have had Devin in this lineup, but that's what I had. 149. So Devin only scored 18 points. That's not really what we want out of Devin. The villains kind of fell back down to earth here, but within a couple points, where we wanted to be. Sam was also at 20, I believe. That's what we were just looking at. Yeah, Sam at 20 as well. So yeah, optimal lineup would have swapped Devin for Spencer. I'm okay leaving those 2 points on the board just because Devin was the right play, right? From a strategy standpoint, if you're gonna spend up and you could fit him in there, just what he had done up until this point. That 86, 49, 37. I'm okay. I'm okay taking just a 2 point loss there. That's sustainable long term. What else? The overall narrative of the episode was just a little weird. Killing the rose ceremony to do the whole thing with her boyfriend didn't seem necessary at the time. Certainly didn't become anything. No, but they like their drama edits. They like to make you watch. They like to get you upset. Um, Essentially a non-issue. He went in there and apologized to the guys for being there and kind of explained to them what happened. And some of the guys took shots at him, and then the guy was already beaten down and leaving. But it ended up being completely meaningless from a fantasy standpoint. We thought about putting him in so that people could pick him. But we kind of knew where the edit was going. The question was how much time it was going to be. If we thought that rose ceremony was going to take an hour, then maybe it makes more sense to have him in there. But we thought it was going to be short, and that we were going to try to get the second rose ceremony in just because of the lack of information that people had coming out. You can't really break the season by that much if you want to stay on the normal cadence. And all we've heard is that it's a normal cadence. So we're down to 7 guys now. Episode 6, we'll be down the hometowns. We'll be down the hometown guys. So you run hometowns week 7. Week 8 is mental all. And then 9 and 10 is your final 3 and your finale. So we're right back where we're supposed to be from a timing standpoint. Nothing else really jumped out too much from a strictly fantasy standpoint. Thomas goes home. He still 5th in scoring for average points. I mean, Thomas had a run there. Being in this episode and getting eliminated, I hope you didn't have Thomas. That's a pretty bad look for a guy that was scoring really well. And Jonathan continues to impress too. This is crazy though. The 44 and 40 fantasy points for Sam and Devin on the season. Those are huge numbers. And that's really what I mean when we talk about eating those points on Devin. Like, Devin's the play. If all other things are equal, you want the drama. Now, 7-4 going to hometowns this next cycle. You might. I mean, he moves on. Spoiler. Oh, shit. I wasn't going to do spoilers on the live stream. No more spoilers. Promise. Just pretend that you didn't hear that. I want the drama edit for as long as it's sustainable. For as long as him and Sam are there at the same time and squaring off, I kind of want it. I'm going to have to look at the preview and see what they release as far as dates. Because if they aren't giving them an opportunity to square off, you really have to reconsider it. Obviously, from a fantasy standpoint, you want the dates to start with, but the drama edit, especially with the rule changes to Rose League, has been paying dividends. I mean, these are huge points. Yeah. Austin could have had a better night than he did if he didn't self-eliminate there. He was doing pretty well. It was an interesting pivot because they haven't really given him a whole lot of camera time. So giving him camera time for him to send himself home was kind of weird, unless they already have him tabbed for Bachelor in Paradise, but that doesn't run until next year. And you'll have a whole nother slate of guys and girls before Paradise runs, unless they do something weird with the timing. So that's just kind of an odd one for Austin. Jeremy has been pretty consistent. This episode 4 stinker here, where he did absolutely nothing. Again, we lost the rose ceremony, right? So really 6 of these 18 points should be episode. Well, yeah, you look at it like that, and he's a lot less impressive. So that's really 9 and 12 the last 4 weeks. That's not great. Watch the trailers. Jeremy gets some time here. It'd be interesting to see if he can build on anything. He's not doing a whole lot. I like to see when they make a toast. Because it's just like free points, but it means they're getting camera time, right? That sometimes speaks to an edit, to a direction. Dylan, I think, kind of got the short end of the stick. He was an interesting character. Just wasn't a connection there. I mean, you see this point drop off. Just overall, seems likable. Maybe VIP edit there. And then John Mitchell, I mean, essentially non-existent. For most of the season here, went pretty deep. If you had him going this far in the competition and maybe slotted him into your season long lineup, if you get like 5 full episodes, 4.5 episodes, I would want a little bit more out of him. And obviously we didn't get that. So let me pop season long real quick. Yeah, so lost Austin and Thomas this week, but I feel pretty good about these top 3 here. So really, if you're in season long, it's really about where your position. Sam and Devin and JJ. So I have to make up 120 points with Marcus over Sam M. That's probably not gonna happen. 194 points off Sam M is pretty gross for the season here. So yeah, if you're in season long, it's a little bit of a different beast. I know it's a less popular game for us overall. I want to say there's 400 entries for the big league. Yeah, 400 entries for the big league. If you're new or you didn't know that existed, definitely a fun one to play with your friends. You set the lineup one time, and then you don't have to mess with it anymore, and you just push for the whole season. So it's really about identifying those guys you think go the furthest. And that starts after night 1. So you get that season preview package, and you can look at that and kind of determine who you think makes it to the end. But just an interesting way to play. But it's based on top of the exact same game. So the points are all scored the same. So it's really easy. Really easy. Yeah, I think that's it. I think a pretty good episode, but it didn't really leave us a whole lot to talk about. I don't really want to get into Jenn's feelings. Honestly, I'm exhausted tonight. I don't think I could do it justice, but the show is done more about focusing on the realities of mental health. They don't always do a good job showing anything. Sometimes it comes across kind of tone deaf, but they're doing better than they did in the past, which I guess is a win. I mean, we have to take what they give us, I suppose. It's not meant to be that social commentary. It's the Bachelorette. It's horrific reality TV. But it's fun, and that's why we're here. And that's why fantasy is so good, because it just keeps pulling you back in. As soon as you think you're done, you find a really, really good lineup, and man, you're just right back in the mess. That's all for me. Picks will be out. It's draft week. Our huge fantasy draft for Quitters Never Win, which is our fantasy football imprint, is this week. So if you are in the Arizona area, come on out to some of the draft events. It's some good stuff. But picks will be out at some point this week or weekend. I got to go back and watch that trailer they showed at the end of the episode and put the picks out from that and just kind of see what I've got from a cost standpoint. It's live, actually. We can do that right now. Here we go. Here's pricing. This is pricing for episode 6, pick 4. So let's see. Let's see if you can get weird. Let's see if you can get weird. I'm going to use my touchscreen really quick. So if you stack the top, which I'm not saying we're doing, but if you stack the top, you cannot get in. Can you take Sam and Devin and the bottom? You can. You could go top and bottom. You can't get Grant and those guys. Well, if you slot Grant, you could get Devin, Sam, Grant, Jeremy. So there's some flexibility. There's a lot of options. Even if you stack the top, there's a lot of flexes in and out that you can work with. Again, we're gonna have to check the trailer, and if you're spoiled, check your spoilers too, obviously. But no spoilers on this show. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to build a lineup here. So I kind of like that. There's enough flexibility where you can get a little weird. Let me know if you guys have a lineup. Drop it in the comments of like last week's video, or even this one if it actually posts. I'm probably just like talking into the ether. It's probably just me. But I'd be interested to see what kind of lineups you come up with and what the strategy call there is. Obviously, you're going to want the one-on-ones. I won't pull up my cheat sheet here because it's all spoilers. But yeah, we'll get a lineup done probably before the weekend and get it pushed out. So might do this more, might not. Live format's just a little bit different because it's not like as scripted as my other show is, but I'm thinking about it anyway, so we might as well talk about it. We have a new show on the channel, Club 602. The show is called Yelling and Screaming. It is a NFL-centric midweek show, review, preview, picks, news and notes, talk about uniforms and all that kind of jazz. It's me and my buddy Sean. We have different perspectives on football and culture and good and bad. And, we shot a pilot episode. So go and watch that. That's up on the channel. Let us know. We're kind of feeling it out and figuring stuff out. So if you have feedback on it, we'd love to hear it. But that'll be out Wednesdays for the NFL season. It's Yelling and Screaming. So, thanks for joining us. 602 Row Show. And we'll get some picks out later this week.